Red, blue, purple light, friends, facts. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Red and blue, purple light, friends, facts. You can get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road, you better stay on your toes. I was till the land, focused on the ego. Then I open my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts. Peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light to the family. Peace, love and light to the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you, and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.
Yes, indeed, family. Peace, 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 love, and light. Peace to you and yours. Peace to you and yours. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to welcome everybody to another episode of Third Eye Thursdays. Yes, you are now rocking with the best. This is your guest, your host for the evening, Brother Red Pillar, reporting live and direct. Yes, indeed. Peace to the family. Let me know how we sounding on the audio and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? Yes, Big Stu, the Jason months are Jasoning. Yes. The Jason months are Jasoning. They said that the S in Jason stands for salacious. God damn it. Because this has been a salacious month, my friends. Very much so. Let me know how we sounding on the audio. You said we loud and clear. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Yes. I am relaxed. I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? It's been a rainy day out here in the ATL. So it's one of those layback days, kickback days. What I did though today on this layback day is I was in the lab. You know what I'm saying? I was in the lab and I put together a nice little presentation and whatnot. Tonight I have a slideshow. I have a presentation. I've literally been in my office since about noon, you know what I mean? Going through the research and putting together a little something for the family. It's been a minute since I've been on the platform. It's been a minute since we've even been building like this. You know what I'm talking about? We kind of like, we've been relaxing from like August to September only because the work was already done in June and July. And, I don't like to overdo things. Like, I don't like to press the issue. I don't like to overexert myself. So I lay down certain things and then I just step back and we observe, you know what I mean? So we've been watching and paying attention, and man, oh man, shit is doing what it's doing what it was predicted to do. It was doing what it was predicted to do. And now we're here, rolling into the October surprise. finishing off the Jason months. We have the O and the N. 2 more months left in the Jason cycle. So it's definitely time to turn up. We are in what is known as an eclipse cycle, an eclipse season. And boy, oh boy, things are, they're coming to the surface. Yes, Libra season is here. Shout out to all of the Libras. My dad is a Libra. We have love for the Libras and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? We have love, we have patience, and we understand y'all. So shout out to the Libra gang, the Virgo gang as well. You feel me? I had it kind of lit. Once again, every year I find out that there's more Virgos on the hit list. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of Virgos out there. So every year I see new ones, adding on and whatnot. That's good. That's a good thing. I said not salacious. Salacious. Salacious, soliciting, and all of these other things. But yeah, we have a nice show. What we're gonna do is the roll call. Let's go ahead and tap in with the roll call, see where the family is tapping in from. You feel me? Shout out to everybody in the building, all of my KT aliens. We have a special announcement on Monday, Melanin Monday. We are going to be doing a Patreon Zoom only class on Monday, a Patreon Zoom only class. Why, do you ask? Because even with tonight's presentation, there are videos that I want to play. There's copyrighted material that I want to play, and I'm forsaking today's show. I'm gonna get hit with with one of those copyrights when I play these videos. But it's like, you know what? I just want to get the information out. But on Monday's show, it's gonna be a little deep. We're gonna be dealing with the Great Fall. I think this is the Great Fall 15, and also a little bit of aesthetic nihilism. I'm going to be playing a lot of copyrighted materials, and we going deep. We're going to be talking our shit. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be talking our shit. And I don't want the algorithm to, listen in as to what it is that we'll be talking about. I really don't want to feed the YouTube algorithm. They've been all right. You know what I mean? Instagram been wilding on me. But they've been okay over here. I can't even go live on Instagram right now because they banned me for like 3 days because I said zesty, the word zesty and vampires in the same sentence, and they had a problem with that. Either they had a problem with it or a zesty vampire in my audience had a problem with it and ran to the authorities. You know what I'm talking about? And had a secret indictment opened up on me. But whatever, you know what I mean? We outside. You know what I'm talking about? Monday is finna be lit. I got a special guest. I'm just not gonna say it at the moment. But yeah, we're gonna be cooking on Monday. Special pop-up, quote unquote, episode for my Patreons and also for anybody who wants to be in the building with us on Monday. I will drop the link later on so you could go ahead and get your tickets. All right, it's going to be a very low ticket, I think $20, so it's not breaking the bank, but it's not going to be on YouTube because of the restrictions and the copyrights and the algorithm and a whole bunch of other things. We got Florida in the building. All right, the land of flowers, Seminole, Florida. Shout out to y'all. We have the Virgin Islands in the building. Shout out to the Virgin Islands. We have Michigan in the building, Phoenix in the building. You dig? We got Kanye's in the building. Oh, okay. So all of this rain is that storm coming. That's why it's been raining profusely for the past, since I came back to Atlanta. It's been like cloudy and shit and raining. They've been canceling events and whatnot. So I guess that's what that is. Massachusetts, yeah. Yay, area in the deck. Yeah. We got Jamaica, Queens up in this thing. BK, Brett. All right. Yeah. I had a great time in New York City. You feel me? I had a great time in New York City. I got to see a lot of people that I needed to see. London in the building, Minnesota in the building. We got East Flatbush. We got Ireland in the building. We got Texas in the building. Yeah, New York been on drizzle since the United Nations politics. yeah, we're gonna talk about that as well. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. Babylon is up to, Babylon is up to what Babylon be on. All right. Salute to Bridgeport, Connecticut in the building. You dig? You want to get that the 44 Pillars, the Bebop joint? I will drop the link for that. You could get that on Bandzoogle right here. As you see the ticker, you could go ahead and get the single from there. Okay. Greenville in the building. Shout out to Greenville. Shout out to Duval. Shout out to the family. Feel me? You feel me? So yeah, we outside on the south side. Families in the building. Salute to everybody. Jacksonville in the building. You know what I mean? Salute. I see everyone. Yeah, that part. Hurricane Helene. Like Helena. You know what I mean? Something else that we'll be getting into on Monday, where we'll be talking about Madame Blavatsky and all of the rituals. Like they're going ritual crazy right now. I don't know if people are even realizing it's a lot of shit taking place. It's a lot of shit. You feel me? The whole state of Georgia inspecting power outages. Really? I gotta go get my candles? That's what you're telling me? Greetings from Detroit. Shout out to the what up, though? Shout out to the D. Shout out to God in the building. All right. Shout out to Columbus, Ohio. Republicans are fighting the UN on sovereignty in the USA. Okay, the whole thing with the WHO, and they're trying to claim sovereignty over the countries and whatnot based off of health emergencies or health concerns, correct? That's what's taking place at the UN, where they're having General Assembly. They begin to converge on Sunday. The day before I was leaving New York City, they began to converge and whatnot. They're having a very big meeting. Netanyahu and a whole bunch of other people are in town in New York City to have this meeting and to address the UN, the General Assembly. And this one is going to be a big one. So we are keeping our eyes very focused on the United Nations, and we're reading the transcripts. We're paying attention to what the hell is going on with these warmongers, these imperialists, and these quote unquote, yeah, these Zionists. I don't know if I can even say it. You dig? Shout out to B-Dale. It's my peoples right there. Shout out to B-Dale. Shout out to the South Bronx and whatnot. I don't see the election happening either. I was on a show last night with my good brother Tahoe. Salute to him, DJ Trom. What was it? It wasn't Hard or Soft podcast. It was the other one that they do. And we were talking politics and whatnot. It was a dope panel. And, they asked who do we think is going to be the winner. And I threw, and I was corrected about the pronunciation that I'm saying about this lady's name. They were really taking an issue to it. And they were like, her name is Kamala, like comma, Kamala. And I've been saying Kamala for the whole time. Why did nobody over here correct me? What's going on? I'm out here throwing this Indian woman's name in the wrong pronunciation. Her name is Kamala. This was a group of Democrats was able to help me with her pronunciation. I was saying Kamala because of the wrestler from the WWE. I grew up to Kamala Harris. He was from Uganda. This nigga used to jump off the ropes. Had a bone in his nose too, by the way. And that was the way. I thought that was the way that you say the name, but I stand corrected. Kamala. I was saying that Spirit is saying that Kamala might win, but then I was in the gym this morning and Spirit was like, no, she's a sacrifice. Pay attention to what the fuck is taking place and always keep that, and I'm not saying this in a negative way, believe you me. I do not want to invoke any type of negativity whatsoever. I don't want them people knocking on my door dressed like Men in Black, asking me too many questions. But they're setting up the stage, in my humble opinion, for a grand ritual in America right now. They're setting up a grand ritual in America. And they playing around with this Trump assassination shit to the point where when they did the second one, it was so it showed that the people are not falling for that. They didn't it didn't appeal to the average quote unquote American, because there's a large contingencies of Americans that are completely in a stupor right now. They are NPCing and whatnot. They are being controlled. They are quote unquote, they're part of what is called groupthink, right? Groupthink. They're moving as the mob and whatnot. They've been activated and turned on and whatnot. Those groups of people that I'm speaking on, that's a different type of people. That's not us. Those are a different group of people. The attempts that they made on Trump, what if that same thing were to apply on the Democratic side? What if they say, well, we got two attempts on Trump. So what about on this side? We need two attempts on, because they, imagine if you're a Republican and in your Republican trailer trash. Yeah, I said it. And what? And your Republican trailer trash Peabody brain, you are looking at this whole thing like it's WWF. This nigga Donald Trump is a wrestler. He's a reality star slash, he's an actor. And in your mind, you're like, well, if our guy got hit at 2 times, if they try to get him twice, then the deep state only, it's only right that the deep state tries to take out Kamala, or it's only right that one of us, tries to even out the score. These are some weird incels who there's a pocket of men in America who abhor the idea of a woman in power or in office. And they abhor the idea of a melanated woman. I don't care where she's from. She got melanin. She's not pale and whatnot. They have an issue with that. And the environment for violence has already been quote unquote set for that matter. They already crossed that line for that matter. They've already planted that seed for that matter. They've already it's already been fertilized. The soil has been fertilized with blood. They've shed blood already. There's been sacrifices already. And these men, right? Amongst other people who have psychological issues in America, there's a lot of people that are considered to be fringe and whatnot, not just these guys, but I'm speaking about them in particular. They have it in them right now. Men in part, not no white women either, you know what I mean? They do they hating from the sideline. It's these drones, these walkthroughs, these quote unquote cuckolds who in my spirit is telling me that they will take one for the team. They are considered to be redneck crash outs, alt-right crash outs, white inferiority crash outs, 4chan crash outs, pep crash outs. You understand? These are their crash outs because their whole movement, when you look at Dylan Roof, when you look at the Buffalo shooter, all of those are crash outs. All of those are crash outs. We don't look at them like that. We don't see them as that, but they're all crash outs I promise you. They don't have nothing to lose and they're getting nervous. This is not Joe Biden's America anymore. Where is Joe Biden? I don't even want to talk about him, but where is he, right? Nobody even questions where he's at. You know what I'm talking about? They show you a video here and there of somebody looking like him walking around, and then motherfuckers is like, give me more cake. Give me more cake. Give me more bread. You know, they just want to be, you know what I mean? They just want to be sedated. But they're getting nervous because this is not the same world that the Republicans existed in when Joe Biden was out there, having all of these gaffes and whatnot, sounding like he was super slow. No, this is not the same America right now. This woman, Kamala, in her goddamn online fucking campaign, I don't know who she paid off at YouTube, but I think she dropped about 100 million in the ad department. Because I promise you, fam, there's nowhere on YouTube that I could go to and I'm not listening to these tired ass commercials about Kamala Harris, bro. There's like 3 or 4 of them that they're running consecutive. So whoever she paid off, whatever bag that they dropped, they got her in the digital world bossed the fuck up, making it look like Donald Trump don't even exist out here. She's definitely letting that AI work to the motherfucking bone. Them Indians, them IT niggas from Bangladesh, they were like, listen, Kamala, it's no problem. I have SEO and I know what to do. All I need is for you to give us some naan bread. Please cook the collard greens that you were talking about that your grandmother made in the tub. But them Indians over there in Mumbai, Dubai, yeah, they're activated. You know what I'm talking about? They're activated. Yeah, the curry collard greens. Please, Kamala, Kamala, please. I would do this for you, but do this for me, please. All I'm asking is when you are able to go into the White House, please will you turn 7-Eleven into like shit is crazy. But I just don't, you know what I mean? I don't put nothing past the desperation of these people. They have I showed some of it in the lecture that we did, or the workshop for that matter, in New York City called the Fantasy Industry Complex. I'm gonna play a little clip from it too. We have that available for the replay. And in that, I was speaking about the fantasy complex industry that has created the Trumper, right? The actual the QAnon slash right wing slash 4chan Trumper. They don't just come out of they're not an anomaly that just popped out of nowhere. You got to remember, these people belong to the fantasy complex industry. The majority of them, when we do a psychological profile on the average, middle-aged white man who considers himself a MAGA, right? A MAGA is different than a Republican. A MAGA, right, is different than a Republican. The same way when they had the Tea Party, you were able to differentiate people in the Tea Party from people who are card-carrying conservative Republicans or neocons. Um, the MAGAs are an offshoot of the Tea Party, in case people forgot. They are also the birthers, the people who are claiming that Barack Hussein Obama was not from the mainland America. He was an immigrant. Um, then you have the evangelical Christians, who are following the mythos of the Bible or the Biblios Helios, and they're following biblical lore and whatnot to the T. They're believing every single thing in that book, and that's their fantasy. Okay, they're looking for a Messiah, Sky Daddy. You know what I'm saying? They're following these books that said that dinosaurs were around, that man was created 6,000 years ago, and shit like that. All fantasy. And it's dangerous because, these people who are programmed by this fantasy, those who program those people, they definitely know how to control them because they were the ones who programmed them. These men, these Trumpers, they live in alternate realities. They have a reality, a QAnon reality. They live in realities where JFK is alive in their world. They don't necessarily live in a perceptive reality that you live in. The same way that you may live in a perceptive reality that they can't ever fathom nor understand and will never be welcomed into. Your reality is completely different from theirs. Okay. And in their reality, they're like, shit, we need to take, they will pop off and they will do the extreme. They will go to the extremes to make sure that their man gets into office. Their way of reasoning is that, man, when you look at it, everybody's trying to take Trump out. Every time we turn around, they trying to take Trump out. So shit, we might as well, the deep state, they trying to take out Trump. They don't want him to get into power. There might not be an election. So as a red-blooded American, it's only right that you understand the psychology of the psychosis of these psychologically depressed people. These are psychos. So this is the theater of politics, and I'm really just watching, sitting back, just enjoying the shit show, because a shit show it is. It's really a shit show. It has nothing whatsoever to do with intellectual prosperity. This is the dumbing down. This is definitely the fall of Rome. This is it in Technicolor, in HD, my genius, in 8K. You're watching it. You're seeing it. Shit is crazy. Yeah, somebody was like, they're not feeling either party. I'm not feeling either party. For the record, I am not a card carrying member of either one of these parties, red or blue. I don't rock with them. I don't have any reason to rock with them. And I more than likely, it will remain that for the rest of my waking days. Okay. I don't feel compelled to be committed to either one of those parties ever. I don't have anything personal against anybody who considers themselves a card carrying member. I have family members who are both Democrat and Republic. To be honest with you, I don't speak politics around family members, nor do I speak religion around these niggas. To be honest with you, I speak family around family. I don't enter into the realms of religiosity around my family members. I will talk about that shit online. I'll speak about it on this show. I'll kick it on Instagram here and there. But even with that, that's not my stance. I'm not really here to try to convince anybody of anything. I don't have no dog in that race. I don't have any dog in that race. People's names, you could look up somebody's names 100 years from now and find out who they voted for. When you make a vote, that is a vote of confidence. And you're basically saying, hey, I'm down with the genocide. Hey, I'm down with this. Hey, I'm down with that. That's just not something that I feel I want to be contracted into. You know what I'm saying? I have a real big thing about where my signature goes and where my name goes behind agendas. So the ritual is definitely underway and people are willingly participating in it. And I'm cool on that. It is what it is. This is America. This is the USA. There's not too many things that people are opting out of when it comes to the system and whatnot. They are playing the motherfucking game. Let's be clear. They are playing the game. There's a game to be played, and people just want to find out, where do we show up to play it? They playing this shit like scratch offs. But if I was a betting man, I would say that she's not going to make it all the way to the finish line. And if there's a finish line, she's going to be the one to cross the finish line. Remember, electoral college, it is a selection and not an election. When I sit back and I look at who would this benefit the most, is it real? It looks like they're running the show. If you really want to pay attention to global politics or geopolitics, is it real? Is running the show. It's not. America is not running the. I'm sorry to break it to you. Is it real? Is running the show globally? Globally, you feel me? Globally, they're the ones pushing buttons. They're the ones running the show. They're the ones that are exposing everybody. They're behind all of that. You see, the media is the ones that are doing the drive-bys. The media is the one cleaning niggas up. And the feds, the FBI and Homeland Security. I'm gonna blow your minds away on Monday when I show you who that is. Specifically, you don't have to speculate. Is it real? Is out here cleaning up Negroes. Yo, the days of niggas in corporate America popping their collar and talking shit, you know that's over, right? You know that's you know if you go and try to flex your pop your collar and drop your nuts in corporate America in a post Diddy world, oh, they're packing you up. They're calling security on you and you getting packed up. That's a fact. Don't even play. Don't even play like you tough like that. Cause you not. They packing niggas up. That era is done with. Look at Eric Adams. Look at Eric Adams. He's not the first, and he's not gonna be the last. They're getting all of you niggas out of the way. So, and this is not even a Trump thing. This is not even like a Republican Project 2025. They rocked you to sleep with that. This is a small hats. You niggas, y'all paying for what happened to Drake, to Aubrey. That's what they out here doing. Niggas is paying for what happened to Aubrey. All you niggas gotta pay now. Y'all showed your hands. Then people on the top was like, you know what? These niggas are not loyal. They gotta go. So they're cutting lifelines. They getting rid of departments and they're laying people off, but they're coming for all of the tokens. They're coming for all of the tokens. Y'all are not needed anymore. The Boule too. You look, don't be mad. UPS is hiring. They're coming for the tokens. The tokens are being removed. Once they got Puff out the way, who's going to protect niggas? He was the top house nigga of all house niggas. They chopped his hands off. The house nigga is now underneath the house. Who could protect y'all? Y'all gotta hire Dr. Umar or something to speak up or stand up for y'all. The King Kong of consciousness or somebody, because who do y'all have that can hold it down for you? Remember, this nigga was running around the world saying and claiming black excellence. Black excellence. Do you know outside of America, they feel like Puffy or P. Diddy or Sean Combs was like, he was our representative. He was our representative. I've said this on the show many times when I shared the Clarence Avant, I brought that up, that Clarence Avant, his passing was when shit started to go to the left. Once he passed, once he made transition, it was on and popping. It was on and popping. And they started to target and they started to do their cleanup job. because the cleanup job ultimately is we got to get all of the tapes from you niggas, right? I believe because the Black Godfather, Clarence Savant, he was rumored to have a lot of information and a lot of blackmail and a lot of stuff that he was collecting since the days of Quincy Jones and them. I'm talking about the 60s and 70s. He had shit in black and white. His wife was murdered from a break-in by a gang member, right? Bodied her right there in the living room and whatnot. Okay? Killed her right in her house. And it was said that the robber, right, who it didn't even make sense, the whole story. They wrapped it up mad quick, didn't even go to trial, gave that nigga like life, and then boom, and then sealed the whole investigation. But the way that the whole investigation and the story went, it did not make sense. Somebody was in that man's house trying to retrieve something. They was inside of Clarence Savant's Hollywood Hills home, not trying to rob them of jewelry or some type of trinkets. No, they wanted whatever was in their safe. They wanted those tapes. Okay? They wanted those tapes. They wanted that blackmail. They wanted something. They wanted something that he had. He didn't give it up, and it killed his wife. And he died of heartbreak about 2 years later. But they just wasn't trying to, quote unquote, nah. They wasn't just trying to slide up in the crib. They were looking for something. So later on, yeah. So then later on, after Clarence makes transition, right, and he dies and whatnot, they go after P. Diddy, who theoretically speaking, when you think about it, P. Diddy in LA, in Los Angeles, and he was in Los Angeles by way of Miami and whatnot. He's one of the biggest power players in Black America after a Clarence Avant. You would have him, you would have Jay-Z, you would have other little people, other little names, but really those two were kind of like in the runnings to take over that very vacant spot that that to be honest with you, when you think about it, if that spot is not filled of a Black Godfather, of somebody who could interact and interface and be an intermediary to the quote unquote organized crime syndicates that are in LA, because he was called the Black Godfather. He was the liaison, he was the middleman, and he was the broker. He was like the fixer, and he worked with their criminal elements that they have in Hollywood, right? Dr. Dre was on his deathbed with an aneurysm. Remember that recently? Dr. Dre was on his deathbed with an aneurysm, and then he had to, they put him down like they put Jamie Foxx down. You feel me? He was with one foot out the door. Sometimes they lock you up. Sometimes they put you in ICU. Sometimes they lock you up. Sometimes they put you in ICU. Some people would rather be locked up than to be on a deathbed, hooked up to machines and whatnot on ICU. Okay? Some people get it the hard way, pause. Some people get it the long way, pause. And then some people get it, the way where they're just gonna besmirch your character and throw a rape charge on you, besmirch your character and say, oh, he had child corn on his phone, besmirch your character. Oh, there's a young woman who put out a lawsuit on a person, besmirch your character. Oh, I heard this guy likes guys, besmirch your character. Oh, this person is a cheater and they were there's infidelity involved. Besmirchment. That's what they'll assassinate the character based off of the character that you play. If your character can be if you have not besmirched your own character and was like, you know what? I'm a piece of shit. You can't besmirch me. I'm a piece of shit. Don't and tell on yourself if you're not that type of person and you have one of those characters that have where you have one of those clean slates and whatnot. You're a leading man in Hollywood. You're getting a lot of money because you have a clean slate and you don't have too many charges against you. They'll fix that real quick. They'll fix that real quick. You know, you said they cloned Tyrone and told us, yeah, yeah. They said the Kim Porter book is not accurate. It's not. There's no, nobody is saying that that's the person who even put the book out. I watched the interview, and he wasn't even, you know what I mean? He wasn't even basically standing on that shit. He was like, it might be real and it might be not. You know what I mean? He wasn't standing on it. So coming for TD Jakes. Yeah, Mace, Biggie, and 112 in total. The artist made the management cool. The artist made the management cool. Okay. You know, because I remember when Dr. Dre went to accept an award recently, and people in the audience was looking at each other like, "That's not Dr. Dre. Who the fuck is that?" You know what I'm talking about? This nigga came on stage all brolic and shit, like Dave Chappelle came when he popped back up and he accepted an award, but people was looking at each other bewildered, like, "Fam, that's not Andre." You know? Amazon is accepting returns for the book, full refund, and they're allowing the purchaser to keep the book. Hello. Hello. You know? Hello. Bill Cosby had a clean image and they besmirched that shit in ways that the younger generation never wants to watch the Cosby show. They never want to hear a Cosby joke. They never want to watch a Cosby movie. They are completely done with that man. They just want him to make transitions so they could talk crazy about him. So, this is what the media is capable of doing, as you can see. They are an apparatus of war. They are apparatus of promotions. You know what I'm talking about? Like they could do whatever they want to do. You dig? The aneurysms was to distract the estate still. Yeah, yeah. Vibes Cartel might be a clone. Yeah. And I made an observation about this whole clone culture that I believe more in about I'm more leaning towards possession culture, attachment culture. I think some of these people have entities that are attached to them, and that's what's causing some of the contortions in their faces and stuff of that nature. I feel like there's attachments. They're dealing with dark entities. They're going through these sexual rituals, as you can see with the baby oil and the freak offs and whatnot. So if the freak offs involve any type of gay sex, if the freak offs involved any type of aggressive, sadomasochist, intercourse, if the freak offs involve any type of proclivities that would be similar to what Aleister Crowley were doing, similar to what the lady who be spirit cooking be doing, similar to what the Golden Dawn and all of them was doing, similar to what the OTO was doing. All of these things you're dealing with entity possession. They're being mounted by entities, demons. They're being mounted by malefic forces. The PDF files as well. We're all talking about vampirism. We're all talking about possession, demonic possession. We're all talking about attachments. When you look at Clive Davis, when you look at Harvey Weinstein, when you look at these people, you're looking at somebody who is possessed. These are not older people. They don't just look like that because they're getting older. No. Nah, that's not what you're seeing. You're looking at people who are breaking down whatever's possessing them because they're older. It's showing more than it would if they were 18 or 19 and whatnot. And they've been performing these rituals for dumb long and whatnot. So, the Europeans, they break down naturally. They spoil like milk. They spoil like milk. You feel me? So based off of that, they can't hold those demons in them. They can't hold the demons the same way that certain people can hold the demons. You feel me? But they are possessed and they're out here possessing people. What would 1,000 bottles of baby oil for? Oh man. I don't know if it was just lube, I don't know if it was just baby oil. There's a theory out there that the baby oil has something to do with the adrenochrome. I'm going to say this. The indictment that they have him on right now, P. Diddy, that we're speaking of right now, who in this flyer right here is the Joker. That is P. Diddy dressed as the Joker. For anybody who's like, why this nigga had a Joker up here? Because Gotham City, nigga. Gotham City is New York City, but it's Gotham City. It's not New York City. It's Gotham City. So this individual named Sean Combs, he represents the Joker in Gotham City. And New York City's been gone. Nigga, it went under a long time ago. The people that are running the insane asylum are insane. And Diddy is the Joker in Gotham City. And Eric Adams is the crooked mayor in Gotham City. I mean, come on now. You don't have to, we don't even have to be intellectual to see what the fuck is going on. This is not New York City. This is Gotham. It's the same Gotham if you saw the movie The Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. The same movie, The Joker, the movie that came out recently when they were talking about Gotham City super rats. Remember, they were talking about the super rats that took over the city. Then Tekashi 6ix9ine came through, the super rat. And, he was running things for a minute. They were talking about the crime going crazy. Then the crime started going crazy. There's a scene in the Joker movie where they're on a train. It was just a video when I was in New York. A nigga got shot on a train. Police shot a fare beater. This nigga beat the fare. He beat the fare. The video was crazy, right? Like it goes back to what I was saying before. People in New York City have activated their supercells. People in New York City have activated their supercells. They'd be like, what do you mean they activating them? There's people in New York City who have activated their super cell. All of that dirtiness, all of that chaos. Joker 2 is about Diddy and Cassie. All of that chaos, all of that pressure, all of that filth, all of that trauma, everything that's considered to be pressure in New York, whether it's the rent is too damn high, the fact that you breathe in the same air as vermin and rats and whatnot, the fact that there's a lot of gang activity and shit like that. A lot of these things are factoring in the fact that people in that city have been activating some type of super powers. I don't know if it's some Toxic Avenger type shit, but I promise you, I'm gonna go and watch the no, I'm not gonna watch the video. They shot this nigga on the train with the stun gun like 3 times. First of all, He jumped the turnstile with the police standing right there. This is a story that took place in New York the other day where they shot a dude up. They shot 4 people on the subway in the subway station on Sutter Avenue. This is the hood too in Brooklyn. This is the fucking hood. This is the gutter. This is the trenches that they did it in. So the nigga, I'm looking at the surveillance video. He jumps right over the turnstile in front of them. Then he goes upstairs. They run behind him and everything. He comes back downstairs with a knife in his hand. They don't see the knife at first, right? Then he goes back upstairs onto the train. Then he gets on the train and whatnot. The police try to get him off the train. This is a black dude, right? Younger dude too. I don't know if not like a teenager or nothing, younger adult. So they start hitting him with the taser gun. This nigga takes the taser gun and just pulls it off his body like, man, you know, I'm on that monkey juice, nigga. The taser is, I'm gonna eat that. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I'm gonna floss my teeth with it. So they hit him with the taser. That didn't work. So there's an Asian police because on the camera, the body cam, there's an Asian name. Shit is like Chu or Lee or something. So you know the first thing that he starts doing, he's seeing a nigga with some super strength on some super Saiyan. This nigga's going Goku on these niggas. He pulls out the blicky, right? With the broken wrist. Okay, because the blicky with the broken wrist is a disaster waiting to happen. You shooting with a broken wrist, meaning that you don't have a firm grip, nigga. You're scared. You a scared cookie. You a scared rookie. And he shot 4 people. He shot 4 people. They shot homie. They shot homie. And I promise you, the nigga took like 4 shots before he even was like, before he got down. And they didn't kill him. This nigga was on a Zoom meeting the next day for arraignment in court, eating motherfucking applesauce in the hospital. They hit him up like 4 times. He stood right there and ate all of those shots. And I told people this. 4 bystanders got hit too. They're gonna get a lot of money and whatnot. They shot a nigga right in his face. This is New York. We talking. This is Gotham City. I'm sorry. This is Ice Spices and Scarlips, Gotham City. It's not New York. Where was he hit? I don't know. All in his body. He didn't die. These niggas post 50 Cent in New York, you got to get shot 10 times to die. 100 monkey theory. When niggas saw that 50 Cent ate 9 shots, they started eating 9 shots too. There's stories where these little niggas get shot 18 times. These drill rap. There was a drill rapper that got shot like 18 times. This nigga was on live the next day. These are some Supercell, nigga. This is some Supercell shit. There are Supercell Negroes in the hood right now on Don Julio. 10 grams of shrooms, some fucking Adderall, nigga, and they eating Wendy's. They are different. Okay? They are fucking different. They're activated. Don't fall for the okie doke. They on the perk 30s and they on that monkey juice and they are different. I promise you, this video, I'm going to show it on Monday. Once again, for everybody that's coming in the building, we have a special episode on Monday coming up for my Patreons only. It's not going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on Zoom because I don't want to get a restriction. I don't want to get strikes. I don't want them to be tripping. I'm going to be playing copyrighted material. We got to get to the bottom of a lot of shit because the Jason months are Jasoning. So October, November is coming up. We're going to be doing a special lecture entitled The Aesthetic Nihilism 2024. And we're gonna pop it off. Super Negooses. You understand? Super Negooses. You dig? These are some different type of people. And it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. Real quick, before we get into this presentation, I got a little something I put together. Let's look at a clip from the Fantasy Complex Industry, which is available on replay at KTLUniversity.com. That is KTL as in Know the Ledge, University.com. We have the replay. It is 6 hours. It is available for the family. Check us out.
Own stories or interact with detailed worlds stimulates the brain's language centers, particularly Broca's area and Wernicke's area. Those are areas of the brain that deal with imagination and thought and whatnot. Critical thinking, fantasy narratives that involve problem solving, ethical dilemmas, or multiple perspectives can promote critical thinking skills, right? We really want to hearken on that. Critical thinking, right? You don't that separates people that are considered goofies and people that are considered sharp, right? It's the critical thinking. So if you could develop that at a very early age by writing out certain stories or giving them certain storylines that involve multi-layered thinking and whatnot, like on some chess, 3 levels of chess, they will be able to pick up on that. Do not underestimate how much these children could comprehend at every age. They are sharp. You know what I mean? They are sharp. You seeing 5-year-olds going to college. That's not an anomaly. That's the fact that their parents or their tutors are teaching them untraditionally. They're not learning like the regular children in school are learning with the Rockefeller program, right? They're learning more about memory. The parents are like, nah, we're helping them remember that they already knew this. How the fuck? How does a 1-year-old remember? How do they already know that? Because memories, DNA. You know, it's a little too controversial to be like you tapping into ancestral DNA. They're not going to necessarily say it like that, but that's definitely what. Come on, how is a 9-year-old acing algebra and you know engineering and shit like that, and they're in flight school? Like, where does that come from? You know what I'm saying? However, if a child's fantasy experiences are repetitive and overly simplified, this can limit the development of abstract thinking and problem-solving abilities as their brains become accustomed to predictable outcomes and simplified ideas. Okay, the music is giving them that. Every single rapper is telling the same damn story, right? Some of the TV shows, these new cartoons is just watered down. I'm not a big fan of them shits, you know what I'm saying? You know, I be trying to put my little ones on to the classics, you know, because I'm like, it ain't even deep enough. Like, shit is basic.
Yes, that's just a clip. Like I said, we have 6 hours of this workshop. We went very deep. If anybody in the building was in the building with us, just let the family know how you enjoyed the information, what it did for you, and how it properly prepared you to move forward and be a part of the fantasy complex industry, which happens to be a multi-trillion trillion dollar conglomerate. What Patreon do you need to buy for the live stream? It's only going to be $20. So you can, I'll drop the link for the Patreon. All of my Patreons, just come in, you know, we'll be selling the tickets through Patreon. So come in as a Patreon member. That would be the best way to do it. And let me see what the tier is. Give me 1 minute. We have these tiers. It starts, the copper is at $5. Let me see. Yeah. Let me just drop the link. Okay, it starts at Shungite. So the Shungite would be that would get you in the building. Shungite, anything from Shungite and up will get you in the building on Monday. And I'm dropping a link right now. You dig? Here goes the link for Monday. This is the link. No, what am I doing? That's for the replay. Let me get you this link right here. Will get you in the building as a Patreon. Also, for my Patreons, in the month of October, we are going to be doing a lecture with our good sister Conjure Queen. How many people in the building are familiar with Conjure Queen? Let me know. Okay. But we're going to be working with Conjure Queen, and we are going to be bringing you a very powerful lecture dealing with spirituality for everybody that has been inboxing me about bringing on a teacher and a speaker to deal with the spirituality, deep spirituality, readings, and things of that nature. I definitely sat back and listened to the requests and whatnot. And I say, you know what? I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with somebody who been doing this shit for a minute now. No disrespect to the new teachers and whatnot, but I can't look past the sister who been putting in the work, and she's been putting in this work, nonstop since she came on the scene. So Conjure Queen is my pick for October to introduce her to the family, because I know that there's going to be a lot of people who have, this would be your first time hearing about her and whatnot. So I'm going to be bringing her through, and we're going to have fun, and we're going to help and assist brothers and sisters who are on their spiritual journey, moving through this quote unquote matrix in this maze. All right. So October, which will also be moving into Scorpio as well. I'll have a tentative date, and I'll let you know exactly what that date is. And we will have her on the show very soon so we can start the introduction and start that rollout. But before the month of September ends, I want to deliver something special to my Patreons. So, yes, on Monday, we will be doing it real big. We'll be doing a lecture. This is going to be a few hours and whatnot. And it's going to be dealing with aesthetic nihilism, and it'll also be dealing with the quote unquote the Into Deep series that I started many years ago. So I put together a nice little something. I want to have a talk. I've been noticing some things, and it's time to have this conversation. There was a ritual that took place. One of many, you know what I mean? Because as we know, they've been just doing a bunch of rituals and whatnot. But there was definitely a ritual that took place in the past few days, and it dealt with an execution, right? One of the things about these state-sponsored lynchings and whatnot is, if we pay attention to when they do it, right? They always do it around the time of the election season. Okay. They always do it around the times of the election seasons, right? So these rituals, okay, where they sacrifice one of our people, okay, always tends to happen around the time of the election season. Now, if we know anything about rituals, okay, a ritual will not have its proper power connected to it. It won't pull off the proper amount of power if said person happens to be red-handed guilty. There was a situation, there's a case with young Dolph, right? That we, collectively people were watching the case. There's a one of his shooters, there's two killers of young Dolph, and the killer, young Drop, was his name, Straight Drop. He got convicted today and got sentenced to life, right? We all was watching the trial, and I would say that collectively, not just in people's court, not just in the court of public opinion, collectively, based off of what was presented, everybody would say that nigga's guilty, right? So if they were to give him the electric chair, or if they were to sentence him to death, it would not be the same. It would not be considered to be a ritual, because collectively everybody's saying that he's guilty. So that's when karma will start kicking in. That's when people who are Bible thumpers and who are religious, you could make the excuse that he deserved to die. All of these things. All of these things, right? On the flip side of that, on the flip side of that, right? Give me 1 minute. Hold on. On the flip side of that, right? If they were to execute somebody that we all know is innocent, right? If they were to execute somebody who we had doubts of their guilt, then that's a ritual. You understand how that works? The wars that are taking place right now in the Middle East, okay? The fact that they've created an environment, or they've created a new doctrine, or they've created a new normal where they're allowed to kill 100 innocent people just to kill one guilty person. Like if they're looking for a quote unquote big wig in one of those organizations, they have the wherewithal, or they have the green light by both American army, or the American military factions, and also their own factions, that they could basically take a building down with 100 innocent people in it just to get that one person. Okay, that is their law. That's how they go to war. That is their way of fighting and whatnot. It's called collateral damage, right? So in this situation with our good brother Marcellus and whatnot, the fact that people are able to prove his innocence, that's what makes this a ritual. People die every day, B. But the fact that they're killing innocent people in the Middle East, that's the ritual. It's not about, oh, we got ops and whatnot. We have enemies and there's this boogeyman. No, it's not the innocent. It's the innocent people that are being genocided. That's what makes it a ritual. It's not about the fact that they're killing people who are considered to be terrorists. It's the fact that in the midst of that, they are taking out babies and women and fathers and grandfathers, right? That's the ritual. It's when you kill the innocent, when you shed the blood of the innocent. You don't know who you're taking out. So when they do these rituals always around election season, I'm going to show you. Okay. So it's not just speculation. And one of the main people, politician wise, one of the one who became the face of executions in the last few terms is Donald Trump. It's Donald Trump. He went crazy in his term on executing melanated people, okay, innocent people as well. He went stupid when it came time to do that. He wasn't factoring in the fact that he fucks with you Negroes. No, he went and fed our people to whatever deity that they feed our people to. He was a part of that. Okay, he was a part of that, and he killed he killed some of his people. So check this out. Let's just walk through it. Let's just walk through it real quick. All right. Executions have a deep and complex relationship with occult and esoteric symbolism, particularly when examined through the lens of ritual power and control. Throughout history, executions, especially those tied to religious or political authority, like those during the Inquisition, were laden with symbolic meaning that went beyond the act of the killing itself. Here's an exploration of the esoteric and occult dimensions associated with executions and the figure of the executioner. So, Florida native said Trump is evil too with a question mark. Florida native, I want to be respectable to who you are and you as a person, as a human being. Where the fuck you been in the past 10 years, bro? If you would have asked some asinine question like that, were you in the baby crib when he was president? I mean, unless you was a toddler in a coma or across the border picking fruits and whatnot in Venezuela somewhere, how the hell are you gonna ask me a question like that? Like, why do we have to re-educate people about some shit that already happened? This is not something new. Okay. This person already showed up. They already did their 1-2 dance on you niggas. They already shitted on everything that represents our people. And we have the audacity to ask if this person has evil in them. Like, who are you? You know? And we can't say that, oh, we got short memories. And no. I'm not going for that. I'm not going for that. It's an insult to everybody's intelligence when niggas start talking about, is Trump evil? Is that what I'm hearing? The fact that nobody, that's beyond established. He represents an evil empire. Okay? He represents an evil empire. Everybody around him has some type of these both of these people. I'm not a political pundit. I don't care about any one of them. They could both fall out of the sky for all that I care. They do nothing for me, nothing whatsoever. There's no appeal that I have towards any one of them. None. Donald Trump is a white boy from Queens with a slick ass New York tongue. He's a white Diddy. Okay? He's a white Diddy. Yes, he is definitely a part of Gotham City. The hell? I just know people putting they trust in the hands of this nigga from Queens. Y'all really on goofy time. For real. Y'all really on goofy time. This failed actor, this failed reality star, this fucking slick talker from Queens. Y'all falling for that? Well, guess what? Those who know are gonna play with you now because you played yourself for even allowing somebody like that to be chosen. There was 87 executions during Trump's presidency. These are let's talk about what executions are for all of my crusaders, all of my Moors out there. All of my Moors out there who should be standing on this, every day we should be teaching about the Inquisition and enlightening our people as to what's still going on. As to what's still going on. The executioner as a ritual figure in both esoteric and occult traditions, the executioner is more than a functionary carrying out the death sentence. He represents a shadowy archetype and embodies the principle of death, transformation, and a severing of karmic ties. That's why they chop the head off. You feel me? That's why they chop the head off. Okay? The executioner acts as a liminal figure standing at the threshold between life and death. This boundary work positions the executioner as a mediator between worlds, evoking the ancient archetype of the psychopomp, a guide who leads souls from the earthly plane to the afterlife. Symbol of Saturn. In esoteric traditions, the planet Saturn is associated with death, limitations, and endings. When did they kill this man? Where was Saturn? Killed him during the equinox, and they killed him during the eclipse season as well, right? But where was Saturn? The Inquisition and the religious symbolisms of execution. During the Inquisition, executions were often carried out under the guise of religious purity and divine justice. However, they were deeply intertwined with occult symbolism and ritualistic elements. Purification by fire. Burning at the stake, a common method of execution during the Inquisition, held deep esoteric significance. Fire was seen as a purifying element capable of cleansing heretical souls. In occult traditions, fire is also a transformative force that represents both destruction and renewal. Alchemically, fire symbolizes the process of transmutation, the burning away of impurities to reveal spiritual truth. From the perspective of the church, burning heretics was not only a punishment, but also a ritual to purge dark forces from society. Wait till they start burning niggas again. Okay? Wait till they start burning niggas again, because that's coming back. Probably under Trump. And they called it an auto de fe. When you ever hear of the auto de fe, all right, that's the public execution where they were burning people at the stake. All right. So when you hear about Jesus at the stake and all of this other stuff, they were doing that to Moors. They were putting Moors on the pikes for miles and miles and miles, and they were putting them on pikes, and they were burning them at the stake, and they had them beheaded. They put their heads on pikes, and they were all up and down the quote unquote, the streets. All right. So the first execution that hold on, let's go back real quick. Like I said, this is all some research that we have. We'll be sharing some of this on Monday as well. The sacrificial nature of execution. Execution as a form of ritual sacrifice has roots in many ancient esoteric traditions and cultures. Human sacrifices were seen as offerings to appease deities, to restore cosmic balance. Remember, to restore cosmic balance. So you execute an innocent man during the quote unquote equinoxes, right? During the eclipse season, or to protect a society from misfortune. This occult understanding of sacrifice can also be applied to judicial executions. Symbolic sacrifice, an esoteric thought, the act of killing a person, particularly one deemed guilty or impure, in a public setting, could be seen as a form of collective catharsis. The condemned individual becomes a scapegoat representing societal sins or threats to the established order. Their execution is a symbolic act that restores harmony, by removing disorder from the community. This aligns with the concept of ritual sacrifice, where a victim is offered to the gods to maintain cosmic balance. So, this offering of Marcellus, right? I believe he was an imam, okay? A Muslim for that matter. He's Islamic, right? So this ritualistic killing of a Muslim, right? The sacrifice of a Muslim, okay? During a time where you have two people vying for the hearts and the minds to get into office and whatnot. One of them is a staunch crusader. That will be Donald Trump. He is a crusader, and all of his quote unquote his base, not you niggas, his base. They are crusaders as well. I don't, you might not even know what a crusader is, and you're just on the Trump bandwagon and have no idea what the hell you signed up for. But those people that are around you at that rally and whatnot, they are crusaders. And if they get the orders to, they will march, right? They will deputize themselves, and they will march into war. Okay, for the 14 letters, for the crusades, for their white nationalism, whatever you call it, they are going to march. So he represents that, and she represents what she represents. Okay, the cabal, the whatever you want to, you know what I mean. But the fact that this man, this Islamic man, is Muslim, got sacrificed, right, during a cosmic window, questions need to be asked. This wasn't random. This wasn't random. Okay? This wasn't random. And the fact that they basically, this story was put into the media for everybody to pay attention to, right? And put their hearts and their minds into it and pray for him and say, please don't kill him. Please grant him clemency. It's going to happen. I believe in, the power of faith. We're going to pray. And then they kill him. And then what? Niggas went to work the next day. Everybody went back to what they was doing. I guess we're just gonna go ahead and vote Kamala. She's gonna have a town hall. That's all y'all have. It's gotten to that. You feel me? Like that's what it's gotten to. So it's you part and parcel to the ritual because you don't have no power to do anything else but to be a part of it. You understand? But to be a part of it. You don't have no other option. Them people who was part and parcel to this situation right here, they were powerless. They just sat back and was a part of this ritual and have nothing to do contrary to that. That's crazy. You know? Lynchings in the death penalty connection. In addition to formal executions, it's important to understand the historical context of lynchings, which were extrajudicial executions predominantly targeting Black men. Between 1877 and 1950, nearly 4,400 lynchings were recorded, with Black men constituting the overwhelming majority of victims. Many scholars and activists view the modern day death penalty as an extension of this legacy of racial violence and extrajudicial killings. Okay. Death row population. As of 2023, approximately 41% of the 2,400 individuals on death row in the US are Black, despite making up only 13% of the general pop. This reflects the deeply embedded racial disparities in a capital punishment system where Black men are disproportionately sentenced to death relative to their share of the population, right? So let us move forwards. The power of the executioner's tools. The tools used in executions also carry occult significance, acting as an extension of the executioner's symbolic power. The axe, the sword, and the noose. Each method of execution has its own esoteric symbolism. The axe and sword are instruments of Mars, the god of war, signifying swift and violent justice. They embody the severing of life and symbolize the cutting of spiritual ties to the body. The noose, on the other hand, evokes the image of the hanged man, a potent archetype in tarot and esoteric traditions, representing suspension, sacrifice, and enlightenment through suffering. The role of blood in many occult rituals. Blood is seen as a powerful life force and a conduit for spiritual energy. In some ancient cultures, the spilling of blood was necessary to sanctify or consecrate an act. During executions, particularly beheadings, the spilling of blood could be viewed as a release of energy, a symbolic offering to the forces of death or the gods of justice. Okay. So they putting people in electric chairs now. So they're shooting electricity through these people. That would be the god of thunder and electricity and whatnot. They're frying them, they're cooking them in the chair. Okay. So here we have one of the first executions that took place during the Trump administration. This is in 2020, right? This is in 2020. This is a white supremacist. His name is Daniel Lewis Lee. Okay. This is Daniel Lewis Lee. He was a self avowed white supremacist. Okay. And he claimed that he was innocent, right? And they washed him up. This is him and his he had one eye, the one eye man leading the blind, right? On some white Charleston White type shit. But he has one eye, right? So yes, they will sacrifice their own. It's not a color thing. At the end of the day, he's considered to be cannon fodder, right? He's considered, he will, you know what I mean? They don't have a problem with washing their own up. You understand? They'll do rituals on their own as well. But he is one of the first, a self-proclaimed white supremacist, Daniel Lewis. The U.S. federal government killed through its lethal injection based execution order over his year of 1996 Arkansas family killing and torture. He robbed a family of three. He shot them with a stun gun. He taped plastic bags over their heads. He weighed them down with rocks, and he threw them in the Illinois bayou. Okay. So when Trump was in office, he ramped back up the federal executions. They were not executing people in the feds right now. Trump brought that back. So the first execution since 2003, it started with Daniel Lewis, but then of course, as you can see, it went to other people and whatnot. All right. But this was one of the first ones. So we're showing you around election season, both 2012, 2020. This is when they go ahead and get busy and whatnot, and they start with their electrocutions and their ritual killings and whatnot. Okay, the first execution from the feds in 17 years. It was Daniel Lewis Lee, right? The three names, right? Daniel Lewis Lee. Okay. So the next one that came after him was a woman, right? So she got electrocuted. She got killed in 2021 underneath Trump, right? So the federal government executes the first woman in 67 years, right? And she was accused of killing Bobby Joe Stinnett, right? This was the woman that got executed. They knocked off a woman, okay? So the only woman on federal death row. And they was like, you know what? Get her the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? We not gonna we got the only woman on death row. Let's go ahead and fry her up real quick. That's what Trump said. Let's get her up out of here. Equal opportunity. You know what I'm saying? We got DIE, DEI and shit. Yeah, let's diversify the electric chair. So Lisa Montgomery, the only woman on federal death row, died by lethal injection early Wednesday after the Supreme Court vacated several lower court rulings, clearing the way for her to become the first female prisoner to be put to death by the U.S. government since 1953. Okay. So this is in 2021 on January the 12th. Okay. 2021 on January, right when they were leaving, if my memory serves me correct. Is that right after January 6th? Right when Trump was getting up out of there, he was like, let me take a life. Let me go ahead and knock this lady off because she gotta go. Then we have this brother right here, Brandon Bernard, right? He's in 2020. Okay, this brother's in 2020. So he was rocking with Kim Kardashian, and she was trying to put a stay on the execution. She was trying to save his life and whatnot, and that didn't work. Okay, so they got rid of him and the feds and whatnot. Then we got Alabama with Willie Smith. Okay, and Willie Smith is in 2021. Okay, Willie Smith is in 2021. Right. So once again, and then this was the one that set it off because this is on the heels of Trayvon Martin. This was on the heels of Trayvon Martin, and this is also Obama. This is the Obama shit. They sent him up to get Obama in office. So remember Troy Davis? Troy Davis was almost a doppelganger to the Trayvon Martin case because they had people saying that they were Troy Davis. You see them with the white tees. People were becoming Troy Davis, an innocent man that they had to kill. Not a guilty man, not a red-handed guilty man, somebody who they were on the fence about. So they sacrificed him, or they gave him, they fed whatever God, whatever entity, whatever deity, whatever they dealing with, they sent that boy up. They sent that man up. They sent his spirit up in the name of that. Okay. So this is what they do. We don't want to be confused as to how they play their games and whatnot. This is all rituals. This is their flex. This is how they stay in power. This is how they evoke fear. This is how they flex their muscle and whatnot. The man was lynched yesterday. Okay. A man was lynched yesterday. And we're so desensitized at this point. We're so downtrodden that, there's not much that we can do. Okay. He was a poet. He was a poet. It says, "At Last, Another's Heartbeat," right? By Marcellus Williams. The silhouettes of their the silhouettes of their bond still visible at the last glow of the sun. They experience each other in the life of the right as it begins to stir. Standing there in silence, holding hands, no rush to go back inside. There is so much beauty and comfort in being in love and just being, amidst sounds of buzzing, chirps, crickets, the pleasant but irregular blowing of the wind, butterflies fancying in step with the light of the moon. No, fireflies fancying in step with the light of the moon. How strange it is to become aware of another's heartbeat, but forget one's own. Finally, love. Yeah, he was in his bag. He was on his poetry. You feel me? And the brother was outspoken, and he will be missed and whatnot. His last words were, "All praise be to Allah in every situation. Okay? All praise be to Allah in every situation. You know? So when I hear the word Marcellus, when they were saying the whole thing about Marcellus, 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 it immediately invoked my memory for Marcellus Wallace. The one that they just killed was Marcellus Williams, but I'm familiar with Marcellus Wallace, right? And for anybody who's not familiar with Marcellus Wallace, then you will be by the end of this quote unquote situation that we're in, this conversation. Now, this is not the nigga, this is not Baby Boy. I know you looking at Ving Rhames and you like, I don't remember that scene with Baby Boy. No, sirree. This is not Melvin. And this is not Melvin and Baby Boy. This is Marcellus in Pulp Fiction. Okay. And I want to preface the movie Pulp Fiction because one of the things that have come out, and we're not, people don't give it enough. They're not leaning into this enough that Quentin Tarantino is a Zionist. He is a piece of shit. He's one of the worst. Quentin Tarantino he works under Weinstein, Harvey Weinstein. He is quote unquote, this movie was underneath I believe this was underneath the Harvey Weinstein imprint. I believe this is Miramax or one of those films that come out of these art houses that the Weinstein brothers were known. Remember, the Weinstein get their big break with a movie called Crying Game. Who saw Crying Game? I remember when I was a youth, I was a jit. And my father, we used to go to like Blockbuster Video. You would get you get three movies for the weekend. So there was a lot of talk about the Crying Game in like newspapers and stuff like that. So my dad was like, yeah, I want to see what this is about. I want to go check this out. They've been making, I think it got nominated. So we went and watched that shit, bro. And I couldn't unwatch it. You understand? And like I said, I was young. I was traumatized at the end of the movie because the Crying Game is about somebody who has a sex change. Okay. It was about somebody who had a sex change. And there's a scene in the Crying Game where they have like a silhouette and dude is taking the clothes off of the woman. And then in the silhouette, you see a fucking, you know what I mean? Like you think you're supposed to see a Coca-Cola bottle shape, and then a Johnson pops out. A Johnson pops out. So that's what the Weinstein brothers was dealing with all the way back then in the Crying Game, which was like 1992 or some shit. So fast forward, a lot of these movies where Quentin Tarantino was disrespecting melanated people, nigga this, nigga that, nigga, 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 nigga. He is a avowed racist, and he should not ever be given no type of respect from our people. Don't fall for the okie doke because he's made some quote unquote classical movements. Don't let that man get away with who he is. Okay, because he was making fun of our people in these movies. So there's a rape scene or grape scene in this movie. This is where you get introduced to the gimp, right? So Bruce Willis is in Pulp Fiction. For anybody that didn't see this movie, Pulp Fiction. One thing about the title Pulp Fiction, right? Pulp Fiction is a play on the fictional novels that used to come out back in the days. If you're not familiar with Pulp Fiction, I'm going to throw these titles out there: Iceberg Slim and Donald Goines. If you're familiar with Iceberg Slim and Donald Goines, then you read Pulp Fiction. So theoretically, what Quentin Tarantino was kind of doing was he was writing a Jewish or Zionist perspective of Pulp Fiction, right? But we already mastered Pulp Fiction. We are the quote unquote, we bodied the Pulp Fiction with the Iceberg Slim and Donald Goines books. It doesn't get any better than that. So Quentin Tarantino grew up watching blaxploitation films. He grew up more than likely reading Iceberg Slim and Donald Goines, and then he went ahead and did his little 1-2 thing with his version of Pulp Fiction. I feel like we should bring back Pulp Fiction in our community. I know that there's people amongst us who could basically do, if you niggas are failed rappers, or if you are a rapper, rappers are authors. Rappers write books. Rappers have imaginations. Rappers know how to create characters, create character arcs and whatnot. Rappers are the best authors on the planet. We should start writing more books. I think we should revive the Pulp Fiction category and start applying some of our stories to the Pulp Fiction fiction. Okay. I have the clip on here where Ving Rhames gets buck broken. I don't know if I could share it because of copyright, and I don't want these people really messing with my channel. I'm trying to fly underneath the radar as much as possible. I'm sure y'all can understand that. You feel me? I wanted y'all to see it, but I'll be showing that on Monday via Zoom and whatnot. We not gonna get flagged. You feel me? But there's a scene in here where he gets buck broken by some racists and whatnot, and it's very disturbing. So the whole Pulp Fiction movie is centered around his briefcase. Okay, his briefcase and the contents of the briefcase, which you never see what the contents of the briefcase is. But there's speculation that Marcellus, who's considered now, once again, Marcellus, if anybody's familiar with if you're familiar with Pulp Fiction, Marcellus is Kenyatta from the Iceberg Slim series. Okay, Marcellus as an archetype, right? Marcellus as an archetype was taken from these blaxploitation films or these books that were written, and boom, now you have Marcellus. But Marcellus was Kenyatta. Okay, he's Kenyatta from the series, and Kenyatta was a militant, a bald-headed militant who, he was he wasn't a crime boss. Marcellus is a crime boss, and there's a running, it's not a rumor, but there's a theory that there was a soul inside of the suitcase. He sold his soul and he was trying to get his soul back. That's that scene where Samuel Jackson and Bruce Willis, they're in dorm, they're in a college dorm, and they shoot up the dude. They clap him up and whatnot, and then they take the suitcase. That suitcase was said to have someone's soul in it, right? That's why the combination to open the suitcase is 666. Okay. The business is filled to the brim with unrealistic motherfuckers who thought their ass will age like wine. If you mean it turns to vinegar, it does. If you mean it gets better with age, it don't. These are the conversation that he was having with Bruce Willis. There's a scene where he's talking to him and whatnot, and he has a bandage on the back of his neck. So all of the theories are going out as to what that is. These are some of the toys. Marcellus Wallace, he's a big time figure in that movie series. Okay. But Tarantino, he took one of the main figures in that movie and buck broke him, So that's the briefcase of illumination that they had. Okay. And the combination right there, 666. You dig? So let's get into some of the theories behind this character. Marcellus Wallace is the devil, right? Marcellus Wallace is the devil. Okay, John Travolta. I said Bruce Willis, John Travolta. My bad. Yes, it was John. Bruce Willis is in there as well, but John Travolta was with Samuel Jackson. They were the hitmen and they shot him up. So they say that he's the devil, right? Um, so think about it. Think about the covert racism taking place. He's the devil. He's a crime boss. He's the most powerful man in that movie, right? Symbolically, he's the most powerful man. What does Quentin Tarantino do? He buck breaks them. Okay? He takes the most powerful man in that movie who's a boss and he buck breaks him. He has a scene where the man is getting buck broken. And that just goes to show you how these people view us and why it's important for them to break us and why they are committed to breaking our people in so many ways. You know what I mean? Henceforth, you know, why this whole thing with Diddy and all of these other people are taking front and center and whatnot. These are buck broken men out here breaking other men, okay? Because somebody did it to them, whether unsuspectingly or with their consent. You feel me? But that's where we are right now, where people are seeing you as a threat. You're Marcellus Wallace, and they want to destroy you. Okay. So here's a look at the facts that they're trying to say why Marcellus is the devil. Marcellus sends Vincent and Jules to Brett's apartment to collect his briefcase. The briefcase contains a bright, shining object, often believed to be a soul. Jules claims that Brett tried to fuck over Marcellus. Also worth noting that Brett is killed as a sort of punishment. Not really evidence, but it's interesting to note that the combination on the briefcase was 666, often considered the devil's number. Many people believe that it was Marcellus's soul in the briefcase, but I am proposing a different idea. It was Brett's soul, not Marcellus's. Brett is a representation of the character archetype of a man selling his soul to the devil. He tries to weasel his way out of the deal and cheat the devil. Hence, Jules claimed that Brett tried to fuck Marcellus. As to what Brett sold his soul for, I cannot say. I'll leave that to speculation in the comments. So here are some of the films, right? Here's some of the films that Tarantino did with the Weinstein brothers, right? The Weinstein brothers. Um, okay. No, this is the Weinstein Company, and this is some of their distributors and shit like that. They had a lot of movies that they were behind. They had a lot of movies. Okay. So that's just more about his briefcase. This is the scene. And like I said, I can't play it. I'll skip through it though, but I'm not going to play it on this show. These are police officers, I guess. KKK. So they're showing in this movie how police officers, you know, they were the ones that were lynching our people. They were the ones that were taking our people into these secret rooms in the basement, buck breaking certain people, graping certain people, unaliving people, shit like that. You know what I mean? That's what they're known for. Okay. So that's Marcellus. When I hear Marcellus, I think about this character right here immediately. So here we go. Quentin Tarantino harassed in New York City by anti-Israel media personality for being a Zionist. There's Tarantino supporting the genocide in Gaza. He's over there with the Israeli military, basically giving them moral support. Anti-Israel activists, of course, call him Zionist shit. So somebody ran up on him when he was eating food and dinner and bombed on him. Harvey Weinstein, who was Quentin Tarantino's right hand man, right? He was the one behind damn near all of his movies. He was the one that put mad money in this. He was the one that green lighted all of those movies where he was making fun of black women, black men. So yeah, that's your boy Harvey Weinstein. All right, these are some of his accusers and whatnot. He is also a part of that wicked, wicked underworld that utilizes torture, utilizes grape, utilizes assault, trauma, programming in order to break these women, in order to break these actors and these actresses, and to keep people traumatized. Okay. So this is an article on Donald Goines, right? This is the article on Donald Goines, the birth of Black Pulp Fiction. Okay, Black Pulp Fiction, not that bullshit that they talking about. Donald Goines and Iceberg. If we're gonna do it, let's do it right. Black Pulp Fiction. Okay, not that shit that he's talking. I don't know what he's talking about, but we had our excellent Pulp Fiction books that need to be turned. These need to be turned into some type of films. You got the Kenyatta's Escape, Kenyatta's Last Hit, White Man's Justice, Black Man's Grief, Deadly Cool. I think they did a movie for Crime Partners. That's actually the movie that got Supreme and some other people. I believe Jimmy Hinchman. That's what got them on the radar of the feds because they reenacted the Edward Burns killing in the movie Black Gangster. No, Crime Partners. They reenacted the killing of the rookie in Queens. And after that, that's when the feds was like, "Oh yeah, this nigga got to go. We bringing down the whole operation," because they were getting into film. So these are some Iceberg Slim books: Pimp, Trick Baby. Anybody that did a skid bid or anything other. If you spend 2 nights in the pokey, my nigga, you more than likely picked up one of these books. But preferred reading, definitely preferred reading for anybody that wants to, that deals with the street life. So Kenyatta, a black militant black leader in a series of novels by Donald Goines, written under the pseudonym Al C. Clark. Right. So these are some of the books that you'll find Kenyatta in. Kenyatta is a doppelganger of Marcellus and whatnot. So Kenyatta is definitely who he got his inspiration from. Okay. All right. So on to some other notes. All right. There's Harvey, Woody Allen, Harvey Weinstein. A alikes, B alike, C alike. You feel me? These are PDFs. These are some of the highest PDFs in Hollywood and whatnot. I can't wait till they run down on Woody Allen ass, since they want to clean up everybody. And here we go. Robert Kraft, and Michael Rubin, right? These are the new Diddies and whatnot. There was a video with Jerry Jones sitting with Jamie Foxx, and he was talking about, the packages, like how they have the concubine or the combine, where it looks like a slave auction, and niggas that want to be NFL players, they got to show their teeth. They got to allow them people to cough. They put their hand under your scrotum and make you cough. All of these things where they're basically looking at our men like they're bucks, you know what I'm saying? Like they were on an auction block. Well, quiet as kept, a little secret came out that along with your height and your weight, along with your arm reach, all of the stats that they have on these football players, all the way down to their blood type, they also know your penis size. And Jerry Jones was speaking out loud while Jamie Foxx was on live. He probably didn't think that Jerry Jones, who might have a little case of worms in the brain right now, he was just spewing it out to somebody else and whatnot. And then Jamie Foxx was like, let me turn this shit off because it's getting highly zesty right now. Because Jerry Jones was like, yeah, that's Willie Bradshaw out there on the field. Yeah, he's about 180, 5. I think he was about 5'9" or 10. Yeah, and he has about 8.5 on his meat. I was like, God damn, are these, But once again, these are young bucks, and these people, once the owners, they're looking at the men the same way that Dollar Bill in Players Club was looking at his dancers, because he rang the bell and he told them go get busy and whatnot. You know what I mean? And he had to know everything about his dancers, right? He had to know all of the metrics of his dancers. Well, guess what? The NBA players, the NBA owners, the NFL owners, and the baseball owners, the NBA owners, they got to know the dimensions on everybody else as well, on some Diddy shit. They need to know how much baby oil they need to bring to the function based off of the size of your package. That's what they on right there. You got a man that you call a owner. How far fetched is it anyway? He damn near he's your owner. I mean, he got one foot in the door. I mean, it's but so much more that you could call another man. You feel me? Before he starts taking a full body autonomy over you, and it's like, yo, let me see what you got. What you working with, boy? What you working with, boy? You know, the owners and hookers own athletes. That's an interesting take right there, because a lot of hookers own the athletes, and it's not the athletes owning the hookers. Mav Hoffa is defending Diddy. New York is finished. I've been said, man, I try to tell you, you know. So here was him coming into office, right? Remember, Eric Adams was the police. Okay, he's the police. Like, it's not like he's really the police. Okay, so he's the police who became the mayor, right? Just we knew it wouldn't work from the gate, because it wasn't even like he was the police and everybody was cool with him type shit. You feel me? He wasn't the police and people was cool with him. He was the police and niggas was like, son is you know what I mean? He was I think Brooklyn Borough president, and now he becomes mayor. So make a long story short, the same people that indicted Trump, right? The same people that got Diddy, Letitia James and them, they're not playing, bro. They be washing dudes, bro. I promise you, they be up there washing niggas, man. You know what I'm saying? They ain't playing no games. They just washing niggas. But they went and washed my guy. And he's been indicted. They say that he is the first sitting president, the first sitting mayor to be indicted. And I'm like, God damn it. What the hell? Whose bad side did he get on? Whose bad side did he get on? Because is Diddy in Rikers Island? No, Diddy is in the feds in Brooklyn. The Southern District don't play no games. They washing up everybody. Yes, they made Eric Adams. He was a Mason. He went to a Masonic ceremony the week after he gave P. Diddy the keys to the city. He gave Puff Daddy the keys to New York City last year. He's going to be. What if they lock him up and send his ass to the fucking to the feds, the same floor that Diddy is on? What if him and Diddy is sharing a cell together? That's crazy. That's crazy. What if him and Diddy got to share a cell together? That's crazy, ain't it? The fuck? So yeah, they're not playing no games with these Negroes in power, thinking that they can run shit. Because this is not the first time that it's happened. This is not the first time. Okay? This is not the first time. You feel me? Kwame Kilpatrick. Right? You have Kwame Kilpatrick out of the D. That's the one that we all know about. He's in 2010. They indicted him in 2010. But I found out that he was knocking off. He had his mistress knocked off. Allegedly. Nigga said that he had his mistress knocked off. You know? They had some dirt on his ass. But they got him up out of there in 2010. They hit him with racketeering, extortion, bribery, and fraud. They sentenced his ass to 28 years. Then they caught Ray Nagin. Remember Ray Nagin from Katrina, nigga? And he had the audacity to talk crazy. He was talking crazy out of the side of his neck about the FEMA and Mike Brown and the cleanup, and then Bush. Well, they got his ass 2013, bribery, fraud, money laundering. You feel me? They gave his ass 10 years in the feds. Then you got Tony Mack out of Trenton, New Jersey. That's in 2012. They got his ass for bribery and extortion. He got sentenced to 5 years in the feds. Then you had Larry Langford out of Alabama, 2008. They got his ass for bribery, money laundering, and filing false tax returns. He was out there trying to get the stimmy. Bill Campbell. Okay? Bill Campbell out of Atlanta, Georgia. They indicted him in 2004. Tax evasion and corruption, right? Tax evasion and corruption. They gave his ass 2.5 years in prison. Patrick Cannon, after Charlotte, North Carolina. They indicted him 2014. Same thing, bribery, wire fraud, and extortion. Sharp James, out of Newark, New Jersey. Remember him? 2007, fraud and conspiracy. Okay, fraud and conspiracy. They gave his ass 27 months in the pokey. And then Marion Barry. They got his ass in 1990, drug possession charge. Remember, he was smoking that krills. He was sucking on that glass. Right? So shit is crazy out here. Don't get caught up on the Eric Adams shit. Like this is an anomaly. This is what they do. All of these mayors is crooked in some degrees. You receiving this nigga right here, he was off the chain. He was just it was like he had a Turkish zaddy and whatnot. They was spoiling this nigga like he was a OnlyFans model or something. Like Eric, what were you doing in Turkey, fam? Like I know they give don't they do hair plugs in Turkey? You didn't even get your shit done. Like what's in Turkey, fam? Turkey? What were you doing? Like they was literally pimping this nigga in Turkey. I read the report, I read the indictment. He was clapping cheeks. They had him out there doing a bunny hop in Turkey. You know what I'm saying? But man, they lining them all up. They lining them all up. Black mayors doing black shit. They lining them all up. You feel me? He's one of the latest ones to get disgraced. He got AOC telling him to step down. One charge of bribery, one charge to conspiracy to commit wire fraud, two charges relating to receiving campaign contributions from foreign naturals, one charge of wire fraud. Now, it's not, you know what I'm saying? They dug through his garbage and they came up with these are kind of the same way. It's a lot of trumped up shit, you know what I'm saying? But once again, they're going to besmirch his character. They're going to make sure that he's not reelected. And they're going to have people turn on him who don't want to go to jail, that are going to answer questions and tell on him, right? Another one bites the dust. And he gave P. Diddy the key to the city. But then he turned around and took it back from P. Diddy and he gave it to Fat Joe, I think. So he needs to go to jail. You know? They shooting at Kamala, literally? Or what you mean? They were saying that Diddy was trying to start a black political party. I would have locked him up too. This is the vote or die nigga. I would have did a citizen's arrest if I heard that, nigga. You're not leading nobody nowhere before the charges, before we knew about the Cassie shit. Remember, he was running around with the misnomer saying black excellence this, black excellence that. Yeah, Kwame is home. I seen Kwame. He did a video today where he was telling people. He did a whole video where he was like, "Yo, that Eric Adams shit. They did that to me. They did that to me. They shot at her campaign. You see, what did I say about them shooting? They shot at Kamala's campaign. What did I say the day that they brought her in? I said that's Victoria Newman from the TV show The Boys. And the last season, the season finale, they tore her in half. All right. They got her the fuck up out of here. She was the president. She was the vice president who became the president. So we know Joe Biden is not gonna make it to January. So she's gonna be the president. Y'all are gonna get what you asked for. You're gonna get that. You're gonna get her as president even before she's elected in. But yeah, they keep your ears to the ground because them shots is they gonna play around with that. Who was at InvestFest? Not Eric Adams. Because to be honest with you, Eric Adams just needs to be a promoter. He doesn't even need to be mayor. If he makes it out of this, he needs to just get down with one of those promoting brands and whatnot and just start throwing all white parties and and some shit in the Hamptons or something. Cause this nigga likes to party. You know what I'm talking about? He likes to party. He be trying to shake a leg and whatnot. He on his, I spent 30 years and 40 years on working and shit. I'm retired. I'm ready to. This is like Unc with the sandals and whatnot. This nigga, he's outside for real, for real, for real. So I'll see you later, Eric Adams. Eric Adams was chilling with drill rappers. Like Eric Adams wants to be. He's a fucking pick me. He wants to be down so bad that his ass is gonna be in the feds braiding hair real soon. You know what I'm talking about? This nigga gonna be on the yard serving Kool-Aid to them niggas, man. For real, for real. You know? But this is okay. This is the Sean Combs indictment. Atlantic Music, Watch the Party Die. So Atlantic is cutting all of the drill rappers, all of the TikTok rappers. They dropping everybody. They dropping everybody. Okay. So pay attention to the industry turning upside down and basically having what is known as a purge. There's a purge taking place. They're getting rid of all of the Diddy clones. Has nothing to do with if you were at the party or not. If you grabbing your nuts and you make white people uncomfortable, you're getting fired. Straight like that. They're getting rid of all of you niggas who thought you was the shit. You're out of here. Okay? I hope you saved up a few dollars because your reign on the top was short like leprechauns. That era is done. With Diddy in the pokey right now, they have no reason. There's nobody to protect you. Jay-Z is not fighting for you niggas. You're done. So on TikTok, it's a whole cottage industry where mad people are breaking it down. Atlantic Records layoffs. Elliot Grange, who I spoke about him on so many occasions on this show. He is he's become the new head of Atlantic Records. His father, Lucian Grange, has flexed a little nepotism muscle and put him in position, and they're getting rid of mad people. I heard mad black people are getting the axe, and they're just fulfilling their takeover of the industry and turning it back into all Zionists and robber barons, and they getting you niggas about it. The streaming apparatuses like Spotify have officially taken over. The money is not in the labels anymore. The money is in the tech industry or the tech companies masquerading as a record label. Okay? Masquerading as a record label. That's what they're doing. And melanated people, unfortunately, we are not that tech savvy. We're not that tech savvy. We need to become more tech savvy because it's not about selling records anymore. It's about algorithms. It's about followings. It's about all of these other techie things. You feel me? So kudos to everybody who got dropped from the label. You got your freedom. I hope you didn't sign your life away. For the youngins that are out there, if you trying to get signed to a label and you see all of this shit that's going on, you might deserve everything that's coming to you because you not reading the room, you're not paying attention, you just being thirsty. And thirsty people, you gonna drink up. You know what I'm talking about? You're gonna drink up. So with that being said, this is just a primer of some of the stories that we're working with. Let me see something. Did I put something about the eclipse on this? Let me see if I did. Yeah, Ninjas is definitely still chasing the industry dream. I'm not going to be the party pooper. So the latest person to sell their catalog is Eve. As you see with the shakeups at the labels and whatnot, this is all catalog driven now. If you are an artist who's out there, who's independent, you don't have to sign to a label. You got to get your catalog up. You literally have to put out 3 or 4 projects a year, whether it's an EP or an LP, but you have to build your catalog up. You got to get buzzing and whatnot. All you need is one hit. One hit will put your whole catalog in play. They're going to utilize AI when they like you're gonna have an AI Eve now, being that she showed her catalog. They're going to have an AI Eve. If Justin Bieber sold his catalog, they're gonna have an AI Justin Bieber. Future sold his catalog. Lil Wayne sold his catalog. All of these people are going to be cloned with the new technology of AI. Mark my word on it. All right, and that's their little stipend. They got paid. Go make more music or go and retire. It doesn't matter. But that catalog that they have will be used by artificial intelligence to do a few things. Okay. So, yeah, rappers are definitely broke. So they're going to have to sell something. And like, you selling your masters, you selling your publishing. Well, shit, we got a new offer. We want your catalog. We want every single recording that you did so we could get a few dollars off of it, off of these streaming platforms. And yes, you could build another catalog. A perfect example of somebody doing that is Future. He sold his catalog, but he's come out with 3 albums this year. We Don't Trust You, We Still Don't Trust You, and Mixtape Pluto. So he's building up a new catalog after selling the old catalog. So if you're one of those artists where you got a cheat code, you could smoke a 3.5 and make 4 songs, or you just got a wave right now, you super feeling yourself, or you have a sound that only you have, make as much songs as possible. It doesn't matter. There's no such thing as old music anymore, because if I didn't hear the music, how is it old? I didn't hear the music. If it don't sound dated and whatnot, it's not old. Remaster your older shit. Give it that up, put some new sounds on it, give it a new boost, give it a remix, but get your catalog out there. I don't know who to go to. I can't necessarily say DistroKid, CD Baby. I'm kind of torn as to what digital platform, what DSP to go with. I'm going direct to customer. I'm going direct. So I got my own website. I'm going direct to customer until we figure it out. And then when we figure it out, then I'll switch it up. But yeah, put as much content out as possible right now, and we'll figure this shit out. But you got to be in the game. You're not in the game if you don't have no content out there. You're not in the game if you have not created a product. You're not in the game if you do not have no type of IP, which is called intellectual property. Get in the game. Please. Get in the game. I can't talk to nobody that's not in the game. You know what I mean? If you like, I'm gonna get in the game, nigga, it's 2024. If you're not in the game by now, when the fuck do you think you're gonna get in the game? You gotta make way. It's 3-year-olds trying to get on right now. Like, if you ain't in the game by now, the only reason that I'm even talking my shit's because I have songs from 2010 and we're in 2024. So I got in the game a minute ago. That's the only reason why I could even talk like this, because I have classics and I got in the game when the sound, I came with a sound and I wasn't sounding like nobody. There wasn't nobody doing what we was doing when we came in 2000. We really came in 2005, but 2010 with the Secret Chiefs and the Legends of the Guardians with Black Dot, King Urias, and a few other people that we did those songs with, which was produced by the Ghetto Shaman, Royally Mortal. Yeah, nobody was sounding like that. That was the beginning of this whole wave that you see right now. That was the early progenitor of this whole conscious wave in music. That was us. So that's the only reason why I'm pushing the catalog, because the catalog is worth billions of dollars if you know how to market it right and if you know how to tell your story, because you could tell the right story and revive a catalog that's sitting dormant and make it worth more than what it was if you could put a context to it, if you could tell a story. Tell the story and watch your motherfucking numbers go up. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gods and goddesses, Moors and Mobites, yeah, I would put 2 songs on the DSPs a day if I was a starving artist that's just coming up. I would try to have 1,000 songs streaming. That shit adds up. It does. It adds up eventually. And then if you get one hit or if you get on a playlist and you got one fucking feature that's body and shit, then all of that other shit will start kicking in. You know what I mean? But we're gonna find a way to make $1 off of a stream. We're gonna crack the code. You know what I mean? We're going to make that happen because the streaming shit is mad money in it, but it's just those fractions of that zero, like the fractions of a fractions of the fractions of a penny. That's what makes that count up too slow. We need to change that, my genius. Once we change that, then it's hand over fist. You know, it's gonna be a floodgates. Once we change that, we're gonna ball out. But until then, we here. Okay, we here. So I will be, inshallah, I will be here Saturday. I will be here Sunday because I'm promoting this Monday thing. So you're going to see me, you're going to hear from me, and I will be here. If you're not subscribed to this channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. If you are subscribed, hit that bell so you know when we are in the building. I'm going to try my best to bring Blue Pill back on the platform. He's been super busy. He hasn't really been plugged into the matrix. He's doing his real thing in the real world. But I'm gonna work on him. I'll let you know. The second moon is on the way. Get your meditation in order. Yes. And we will get ready for that second one as well. Please get your meditations in order. Please don't take anything personal during the next few weeks and whatnot. I've been saying wild shit and whatnot. I gotta check myself. The energy on this planet right now is kind of wacky. Don't get into no arguments as much as you can. I have to tell myself that as well. Try to be sucker free. Do not get into too many conflicts with people. Try to avoid, take the peaceful route out. Be like, swallow your pride maybe if you have to, but do not engage in the negative energy that's trying to pull people into the underworld. The veils are thin. We are going to have the Day of the Dead Day party. Okay, the second moon is coming. So with the second moon coming, shout out to B-Dell, shout out to Brother Rich. I heard the show. Be mindful of the fact that the lunatics will come out. Okay, because you got 2 moons. So it's going to affect the lunatics. So do not be arguing with no whizzes, bro. You know what I'm talking about? Don't be arguing with the Whizzingtons. You want to just keep that shit on the tuck. You want to keep it on the tuck. If I hear of any dope rituals that's going to pay homage to that second moon, we'll talk about it. But I think mentally we should be preparing ourselves for what's about to come. And this is the harvest season. And you have to be collecting your acorns because winter is coming. Okay, it's going to be a very cold winter. And just based off how the economy is doing, the economy is out here twerking and whatnot, but it's not popping that. It's not popping it. It's not popping. It's twerking, but it ain't popping. So we got to wait for that shit to start popping again. So in the meantime, we have to store our acorns and our nuts. So when we go into hibernation, we not out here clapping cheeks in the winter or shaking a fucking cup in the winter. Create your own ritual, create your own myth. Okay. Like I said, this workshop right here is the truth roof that we just did. This was very empowering. This shit is, this is the you look. I'm not even gonna say the word game and whatnot, but this was Trump tight. This was that shit right here. This was giving you the game in ways that that nobody's never given it to you before. I made it very plain. I broke it down and I showed you how you can control the minds of the youth by utilizing this industry, which compromises the comic book, the cartoon, the toy, the video game, and the music and movie industry. But because of the technology that's available right now with AI, you could be a player. You don't have to wait for $1 million, multi-million dollar budgets and whatnot. They have democratized the playing field. So you, my friend, can be a player now. I promise you, take my word for it. You could put $1 million project out forward. You could have it distributed, you could have it streamed, you could have it in front of mad people, and the overall cost to do it will not, quote unquote, break your pockets. It's going to be affordable. Also, a sponsor for today is the Mark 125. We have a new collection. I might as well just show y'all the collection real quick. The Master Teachers is in the building. We have the new collection. Let me take you over there to the Mark 125 and show y'all what we working with. Boom. So I told y'all that we had the Panic shirts. All right. So here we have Brother Panic. Shout out to my brother Panic. Rise in power to the king. You feel me? We're paying homage. This is what we're doing, paying homage to our brothers and our sisters in this community. And we're putting them on our shirts. Like we're representing the people who we feel are fly and the people that we rock with. So we don't have to wait for nobody to do it for us. Okay. We got the Delbert Blair. All right. Shout out to the Nagas. We got Delbert Blair. You know what I'm talking about? Master teacher, metaphysical master teacher. You feel me? So we got the Blair shirts. Yeah, these is fire. You know what I'm talking about? We got the Blair. And then we also have, of course, the bestseller right there, the top seller, the Young Bobby. You know what I'm saying? The old Jizzle, the OG. We have it for ladies and men. Okay. Because my ladies out there, they was asking about it. So we do have that. So yeah, we got the Bobbies for the youngins. You know what I'm saying? We got the Bobbies for the unks and whatnot, for the OGs. You dig? And then the next one, of course, the master teacher, Baba Phil Valentine. Okay, so we got the Baba Phil Valentine jump offs. Okay. And we'll have more master teachers. I'm looking at Dick Gregory, Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, C. Freeman L as the next one. So, we'll let you know what that is. But yeah, these are the master teachers. We also have the Kendrick, KT Aliens. Shout out to my KT Aliens. We have the KT Aliens as well, me and Blue on the shirts. But this is for my KT Aliens. If you consider yourself a KT Alien, you definitely need one of these right here. So check us out. Oh shit. Well, my bad. I didn't even see that. What am I doing? Let me go back and show y'all. My bad. I'm wilding. So yeah, these are the KT Alien shirts right here. These are the KT Aliens. Let's go and see. Here's the Panics. Brother Panic shirts. This, yeah. Got him on his dark shit. You know what I mean? Sasso Met, the legend. Then we have Delbert in the building, the OG. You know what I'm talking about? Got the good Delberts. You smell me? The Delberts is crazy. So yeah, we got the fall hoodie season is here too. We got the hoodies. They'll be coming with the long sleeves. We still doing the short sleeves though. It was hot as hell today where I'm at. So weather is changing and we will change with it. But right now we're still in t-shirt season. But on the site we'll have options for the long sleeve as well. And then we're gonna get into the hoodie season probably around November and whatnot. Probably around November. We got the tote bags as well. Ladies, come and tote with us. Ladies, get your tote on. Young Totington. You know what I'm talking about? Young Totington. We got the Dr. Sabies, Barber. Okay. Got the Sabie shirts. So yeah, man. Let me I'll drop the site real quick so you could go and check it out. Go get your drip. Yeah. You need boots and shoes? Yes. I will have boots and shoes. We will have some Uggs available for y'all. You said you can't see it? Y'all can see those pictures, right? Yeah, I can see those pictures. You feel me? We need a movie about the end goal of their vision in utopia. Well, we could do those movies now. We could write those movies. The strike is coming on the 1st. We'll be looking up to we'll be looking for that whatchamacallit. We'll be looking for the strike. We'll be paying attention to that. You need a Steve Coakley shirt. Yes. I'm gonna be working on that as well. You like the KT Aliens? Yeah, I like that one too. I need some models. I do need some models. I want to do a fashion show. I want to do a fly ass fashion show. I need some models. You know, it's a lot of beautiful people out there, and I feel like some of y'all, y'all not being represented the right way. You might need Richfield as one of your agents or managers and whatnot, but I need some models. You know what I mean? Men, women, and toddlers. Okay? Men, women, and toddlers. So I'll leave you my email. We could talk about it. You could email me if you're interested in some type of modeling type of thing. I'll we'll make some things happen. This is something that I used to do, so it's not like I'm getting into a field that I'm not familiar with. We could make something happen. You know what I'm saying? But I'm definitely looking at a fashion show. I want to bring the aspect of the fashion show, having y'all walk and whatnot, having people show off their young designers and whatnot, let them show off their collections and whatnot, and just have fun. You feel me? Shit. Conscious people have fun too, man. Like we let it all hang out. We not no prudes and whatnot. We not no prudes. And as the world gets crazier, we need to have more fun amongst each other so we don't feel so what's the word? Like outcasts. We don't feel like outcasts. I literally at this point, this shit is going so crazy and we're moving in such a quickening that I used to be able to be around people that are not on my frequency, but I can't do that anymore. I just can't even be around the people that are not on the frequency. Like, I don't want to be around that shit. I'm tired of playing that game. I need to be around people that are on my frequency. You know, I can't do it. I can't put on the fake smiles. I can't entertain the pity party. None of that shit, yo. I'll be turned, you know what I mean? Like, I used to be, yeah, really? Oh, I used to entertain that shit. Now I'm cutting it short. I'm like, fam, can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Can't do it. So, with that being said, we're going to end it off with Red and Blue, the remix, Purple Like Prince, Facts remix. We will see y'all, like I said, very soon. Love and light to the family. Y'all stay dangerous. Keep your head on a swivel and stay away from the distractions. All right? Peace, love, and light.
Red, blue, purple light, friends. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Facts. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Red and blue, purple light, friends. Facts. Get to know the legend, sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the legend, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego. Then I open my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we're stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts. Peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light to the family. Peace, love and light to the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you, and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.